Jeffrey, you stink. Yeah. Too much fun at the dog park. Yeah, whoo-wee. It's only been, what, a week and a half since you've had a bath? I want to put two multifunction displays right here, side by side, or maybe just one. I don't know. We'll see what my dimension options are. The issue for the last couple of years, this Raymarine system, which I've only had for a few years, this is a 7-inch and touchscreen A series, now discontinued, or maybe they still make it, but there's a newer version and the touch is much better, more like a tablet. So I'm thinking of buying one or two of the new screens, and I'll relocate this one up to the flybridge. I installed the MFD on the port side because there was already a hole in the dash from a obsolete depth sounder, which I removed. So the plan was for that to always be temporary, and my thinking was I need to upgrade the VHF, the stereo, it needs to get upgraded or just removed, it's not functional. And then I have a tank, holding tank gauge, and a bilge alarm that I've added. And anyway, the plan with all of that was I was thinking like a black plastic or maybe just a laminate to replace this teak. And same with these gauges. The fuel gauge is not functional. I have a dipstick. The VHF, I love this thing. The clarity out of that speaker is fantastic. It's much better than my new Standard Horizon unit up in the flybridge. I think that's a direct result of the diameter of the speaker. They do make an external speaker for the newer radio, Standard Horizon radio, but I've hung on to this because it just sounds really good. The drawback is anytime I'm recharging any USB devices, I get a buzz in the speaker, and also on my transmit there's some buzz, so there's some filtering that needs to be done on the DC power supply side. The newer radios don't exhibit that interference. So that brings me to the Standard Horizon remote mic, and that got me thinking, well, maybe I should just have a remote mic up in the flybridge and have two radios, matching radios, down below. We spend most of our time down here. I'm really only in the flybridge, sunset and docking. The rest of the time just being here on the Pacific, even though it's Southern California. Most of the year it's chilly up there, and the whole family gravitates down below, and so I do the same when I'm at the wheel. This underside, I want to call it the soffit. I don't know the correct term, but I've got a smoke detector in here right now. It's not clipped in. That used to be a speaker. This was a previous something, I don't even know. Some switches and some other holes, and a dead speaker. Thinking this will be my first resurfacing project, because I can do that with one 8-foot sheet. And gravity's my friend, fitting with contact cement. Now, when we're underway in low visibility, there's usually two of us, one in the chair keeping watch and second operating the radar. But even with two people, that's major neck cramp looking up high in the upper left at that screen. So anyway, my plan was always to put these screens on the dash. The original radar that came with the boat from 1981 was installed on the left dash, but we like that area for prepping food and cooking and just staging stuff while we're on the boat. Right now I got all my camera stuff piled on there. So really, like a modern control area, I want to put one or two MFDs on the dash. The limiting factor right now is that compass. Can I install a new compass right on the center line, right here in front of the forward companionway? Or will these two pieces of stainless cause some interference that I can't correct for? I don't really know. Yeah, I don't know anything about compass, magnetic, and interference. What do you think? Can I put a compass right there? Yeah, no? Maybe?